Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our beautiful lights out there that are going to join us and are joining us today for this live. And we've just spontaneously put this together, so we're just running it, and it's going to be a lovely little chat. And today I've got these two beautiful beings in here, Lou Martin and Medina. Medina, welcome. First time meeting you, so this is really lovely.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Welcome. And Lou, you good?
I'm good, honey. I'm here with two of my favorite ladies, and we're talking about healing, awakening, and saving the world in that order. So I'm thrilled to be here with you. Thank you for doing this, Mandy and Medina.
All right. So if you would like to explain what you're up to and how this is all working and all of that, that would be great.
Ladies first.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Thank you. Well, I had Lou mention, and also another wonderful friend and colleague in Greece, Yanis Demertsos, who's an amazing spiritual being and also a freedom activist, one of the major ones in Greece. And Lou and him both mentioned that it would be really good timing at the moment to do like a forum or a roundtable on divine government and how we can co-create it. So then that inspired me, and I got onto my friends in different spots around the world. We've got an amazing author from Malaysia. We have another incredible author who's written a book on sacred marriage from Australia. We have as well as, of course, the amazing Lou, who is such an inspiration to so many. We have SG Anon, who is a major voice in what's happening in the world at the moment. So he's going to give people a bit of an update and then talk about divine government. We also have Pascal Najabi, I believe, coming on board, who is also an amazing soul doing incredible things in the world. I'll let him sort of fill you in more on that. So you've got to join. There's also, I'm just making sure I've remembered everyone. There's, incredible guest who's a good friend of mine, Dr. Alex Ling, who is a researcher and physicist who has dedicated his current energies into researching water sources around the world and purifying the water. And this is an really essential quest, because we're made up of water, and water is so important to us as a species, and he's doing really groundbreaking work there. No pun intended. So we've got some wonderful guests. I really hope I haven't forgotten anyone. I probably have, but anyway. So we're all going to discuss what's currently happening in the world, from our perspectives, and then how do we co-create divine government? What is divine government, and how do we get there? How far away is it from where we currently are? And it is intended to bring hope and like a visionary perspective on how we can all visualize where we're wanting to go to, because if we can't see the place where we want to go, it's going to be very hard to get there. It's like if you want to co-create, abundance, you have to be in that abundant state before you can bring it in. So this is the intention, and also the timing just before the US election is crucial as well, to get people's frequency and their intention in the right place to help get the best result. So that's really, I guess, the foundation behind it.
That's fantastic, because we talk about all these things, but actually doing something is the thing that I see sort of jog on from everyone, the action part. And it takes a lot to bring these sorts of things together, but it's exciting when you do start, because you start seeing just how beautiful everything just flows in. The right people, all the bits, the little jigsaw bits all start popping in and falling into place. And it is such an exciting thing. So give me time and day. It's Friday. Is that Friday?
Yeah. Uh, Friday at 10 p.m. Ireland time, which is Saturday at 8 a.m.
Queensland time. Queensland time, which is AEST, but the all the southern states in Australia are 9 a.m.
Right.
AEDT.
Yeah, and the daylight saving things, hasn't it? So we're all out of kilt here too, trying to match up everything again.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll post that up under this so that everyone can get the time and day and join you. So there will be a link, or yeah, you give me all of that information, and we'll put that in underneath this when we've finished this chat. So do you feel there's going to be a bit of a hiccup before the election, do you reckon? Like, that's sort of the talk, isn't it? That gets sort of expected that something's going to come along, stop it.
Yeah, it's going to be quite too much excitement. But you know, what I want to do first, a big shout out to MEDHYNE for she hosted a hurricane prayer party and invited me to that prayer party. This is a big part of how this is happening here. And I got to be on with herself and I think 4 or 5 lovely Australian ladies for the most part, I believe. And we all did our prayers and our magic incantations and showed our art and show and tell, and had a wonderful time together and sent some love in the direction of Milton. And so that group with MEDHYNE, and then a chap named Michael Abramson, who I'm chatting with, who's on the East Coast. He was there in Florida, and he literally stayed right in the path of the storm, which at one point Hurricane Milton was 200 miles an hour. It was a category 6. It was off the charts. And between himself and another dear friend who I've connected with, who I'm hoping both of them might pop in and just say hi, is Anahata Holly Hallowell, who was also in the path of the storm. And Anahata had 1,500 people on her Zoom call for that to work with the hurricane. So between all of us, we managed to, from a category 6 to like a 2 or a 1. And then the eye itself literally broke apart when it made landfall, and the water actually cooled 12 degrees. So all of this was completely unexpected and miraculous.
That's too cool.
Yes, it really was. So there was a lot of good that came out of it. So we're hoping to come back to your question. Is it going to be crazy? We're hoping to keep the crazy to a minimum and put a whole lot of crazy love and hope in people's hearts about working together and uniting.
Can I say on that point too, that when World War II happened, there was a famous saying that was, if 50 people had got together and meditated and prayed on peace, it could have actually halted the whole scenario. So it's so incredibly powerful, and you can feel the energy when you come together. It's magnified far more than the group. It's so expanded, the energy, when you come together and you pray with strong intention for love and peace. And it was miraculous what happened with Hurricane Helene. So props to you, Lou, as well for all your incredible contribution.
Well, this is the most fun I can imagine having. What's more fun than changing the world? And MEDHYNE, that's a wonderful story. I hadn't heard that put that way, but I absolutely believe that it's true. What comes to mind is Esther Hicks's quote from Abraham, who says, "One person aligned with source is more powerful than a million people who aren't." And we've all, Mandy, yourself, and MEDHYNE, myself, we've all been really blessed, haven't we? That we've known throughout most, if not all, of this lifetime. You were an early start, Mandy, and I caught up when I turned 30. MEDHYNE, I don't remember your awakening story, but definitely, we're all in this together, knowing that there is a loving higher power, and if we will, open our hearts to each other as we're doing, and invite people to trust and to visualize and imagine what we want, then the universe is given our free will permission to work through us and with us.
Exactly. Do you have an intention? Like, I get the intention's love, but are you, this is for people who maybe, don't do a lot of this or haven't done any of this sort of energy work. I was just talking with a friend the other day and saying how I commune with nature and the trees, and I sit out on my porch and have these great conversations with my trees and palms and everything. And she went,
Right.
"What? I never knew you did that. I have never thought of that." And I honestly was blown away because she's very connected. And it was like, what?
Right.
So some people just don't be as like this. How is it that what's the structure in this? Like, what's the intention? How are we going about doing this? We're just sitting in heart space and feeling into the love. Is that what we're doing?
Well, so one of my teachers, I'm happy to hear Medina's answer as well, but one of my teachers is, and I'm sure you know her, is Patricia Coda-Robles.
Yes.
And she has an invocation for divine government. And this was just her weekly, video a few weeks ago. So, I'm going to, Medina and I are going to play some version of that. There's three that I'm aware of, and to really put it out there to people. So yeah, it is a real thing. Patricia has spoken about how America is an anagram for the I am race, and that the I am is who we are. As God, as the divine, as source. I am that I am, and
Mm.
of course, everyone knows. When we say I am, we're making a very powerful statement to the universe of what we believe, and we're owning it as our experience. So that's my hope is and intention is that we'll use some of Patricia's great channeling. I want to get her permission beforehand to do it in public, but basically she's always good with anything as long as she's credited. Era of Peace is credited with it. So I just in a magazine, Medina, you were on with Ian and Fallon in that group in the States, and they have a lovely group listening to smile.com, Ian's record label. And then they have the Frequency Minded magazine. And they just started this in August. And the video and the article I did for October was about divine government. And I included Patricia's statement in there, her prayer in there. So actually, you just reminded me now that I'm telling you, I'm going to dig that up and share that here if I can. But the two of you carry on for a minute. Let me go search for that if you don't mind.
So what I'm sort of asking is that we're not sort of imagining Trump winning or anyone else that might be involved. It's like we're keeping it wide open, aren't we? Like that's
Yes.
what I'm meaning. We're not sitting and directing it to an image that we might have.
I guess
No.
a really good saying for that is I asked to be manifested what is in the highest divine good for the highest number of people concerned. What is in alignment with the divine for the highest good of all concerned. So those sorts of intentions are really, really powerful. And I don't know if I can share my screen, but I've got a wonderful thing here that gives you a bit more information on this, which is the Hawkins scale of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And if you place your intention in love, which is 500, then you impact at a minimum, they've estimated 750,000 people. So just by being in your heart center and emanating divine love or love to the world, in whatever way you do that, you might think of someone you love, or you might think of, your dog that you love, or whatever, but you're in that frequency of divine love or love, and that in itself can impact at least 750,000 people. So, this is really important because you don't have to do anything specific. You don't have to say a specific prayer or anything like that. Just even holding that space of love and sending it out to the world. Say, I send this love to the world. I surround the world with love, and peace, and just that intention and that holding that frequency is in itself extremely profound.
Mm.
And you know, on top of that, you can do more. You can say specific prayers, or you know, just meditate on it, or bring in your spiritual team and call them in, and all your angels, and get them to surround the planet and around the world. But you know, at a basic level, just holding that frequency is so extraordinarily important.
Mm.
Yes, beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when two or more are gathered together in my name, there am I in their midst.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if I
That's
say
right.
the mountain will move.
Absolutely. And because the one thing, you know, I'm aware of is the manipulation. You know, for me it's not that, you know, that's the thing. It's not about manipulating it to have it the way we think it should be. It's about allowing it to be the highest good for everyone concerned, whatever that might be. And for some it's not going to suit, and others it will, but it's going to be for their highest good, you know. So that's the part. We're not manipulating.
Well,
Yes.
spiritually, that's the lesson of non-attachment.
Mm.
You aim for the highest outcome, but you let go of a specific attachment to a specific result, and
Yeah.
just trust in the divine that will come to pass if you put out that, you know, what you just said, Mandy, that intention.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a story to share about that. That's where my heart is at as well. One of my friends in the speakeasy community that I'm involved in every Sunday afternoon, which is based around the Course in Miracles, is a woman named Joni, and she sent me this conversation from James Twyman, who's a wonderful author. Do you know Emissary of Light and
Yeah.
these kinds of books? Yeah. And so James is talking about he was at a political he was at a spiritual thing, same as what we're doing here, you know, praying for peace, praying for love. But it was around the time of the last election, and he tells this very funny story of Marianne Williamson, who I really love and adore. I just heard her book, listened to her book on Audible, Mystic Jesus, and which is about the Course in Miracles. But anyway, Jimmy's backstage getting ready to go on and pray with the people, and he meets Marianne, and Marianne says, "So are we praying for Hillary Clinton to win?" And going like, "No, we're not praying for that, Marianne." And she, like, you know, flew into a rage, you know, and was like telling him, you know, "We've got to get Hillary in. My God, you know, you don't want this psychopath Trump running the country." And then the next thing, her name is called, and she has to go from like being completely, you know, wound up about all this to going on stage and talking peace and love and forgiveness again. But so the message there was it's about guidance. I'll send you the link, both of you, because I think you might enjoy it. But he's basically saying the conversation was, I don't know, maybe, but I love you. So in other words, when we're debating and discussing who's right and who's wrong and who's better and who's best and all that, you know, God only knows. But, you know, Jesus's message and all the great teachers, you know, John Lennon, my personal Jesus, you know, these are the people saying the same thing, which is, it doesn't matter which side you believe is right or wrong. It matters that we love each other, and we create a space of tolerance and acceptance and peace and forgiveness, so that we can come back to what is really important. So
I'd love to speak to that if I could. So, you know, Bashar and Cryon, who are two amazing spiritual teachers, they've both said the same thing, you know, in paraphrased in a different way, that basically, well, it is the same thing, that you don't intend your energy for a specific person and then discredit or disrespect the other person, because that's not divinely aligned. So it's sort of, in a sense, when you attach to one, you're creating division. And really the whole purpose of this higher way of being is to unify everyone, and all souls are important, and we don't want to leave anyone out. So the intention of just being open with your sort of what you expect, with your expectation is really helpful. I think so, and I think that's what people find hard, because they do attach to a particular person. You know, there's such a huge following for Trump at the moment. All the rallies, you know, there's people, 75,000 people waiting outside that can't get in because it's full capacity, the crowd that was in Minnesota or something. So, you know, it's wonderful to be positive about something, but when you start judging and bringing in a negative energy about the polarity, then that's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ram Dass says, why are there all these angry people at the peace demonstration? You know, how can we have that be the opposite, you know, in our hearts? We want peace and justice and we're just shouting and raging at each other. I mean, for me personally, when this idea dropped in, it was like such a huge relief. You know, I didn't have to defend anyone. I didn't have to criticize anyone. I didn't have to compare anyone. You know, I'm just like, I'm done with that at the moment. Let's see what love can do.
And it comes to family too, because, you know, the core of family, because when I heard of this amazing quote of Ram Dass, which was, you think you're enlightened, try spending a week with your family. That's so funny. But, you know, at the nuclear level, you know, there's family, but then at the global level, we're all family as well. So interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, we want peace, be the peace. We want love, be the love. You know, it's walking it. Walking it changes it.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Well, I have here, Mandy, the end of Patricia's invocation for divine government.
Yeah, I just flipped into that. Go for that, Lou.
Okay, all right. Brilliant. Let me do that, and let me give you the my current favorite prayer, if I may, which is to walk into that, which is the Aramaic translation into the English of the Lord's Prayer. And I think between the two of these, this will help us to get there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. And thank you both again for all your great work. It's just a joy to know you and be on this journey here. And, you know, there are very few people that would have said yes to this and put it together so quickly. And you both said yes. And, you know, here we are. So it just shows you your total dedication to the path. Yeah.
It reminds me of that movie, you know, the Jim Carrey movie, Yes to Everything.
I was just going to say, we're action girls.
That's it. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You all right?
Sorry.
Very good. Okay, so here we go. It's good to laugh, isn't it, my friends? Dear God. That's what we remember, which way is up. That's all I know. Okay, here we go. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration. If you want to close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath when you're listening out there, that might help. If it suits you. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration. Soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desires. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. And so it is. And here's our prayer from Patricia. This is the last part of it. And so I'll just start with her opening prayer and then go into this. She says, I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. I am the open door that no one can shut. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life of the patterns of perfection for divine government. Through my I am presence, the I am presence of all humanity, the entire company of heaven, and my Father, Mother God, I now command. I am assimilating the matrix and archetypes for the brand new fifth dimensional patterns of divine government, now pulsating in the realms of cause. Through the unified efforts of heaven and earth, divine government is now being co-created and sustained breath by breath through the divine grace of my Father, Mother God. Victory is ours in love, governing this planet. Victory is ours in love, governing this planet. Victory is ours in love, governing this planet. Let the love of God be manifested in, through, and around all of the governments of the world, now and forever. And so it is, beloved, I am that I am.
Mm. And so it is.
So it is.
Beautiful.
It's
I have a
beautiful.
beautiful master that I used to work with, and we would do healings, global healings with people for different things happening in the world. And he transitioned about, I think it's about a year ago now, but he would always say victory of the light. And I go on and nod to him, victory of the light.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Master Hawk. Master Hawk. He was based in Malaysia.
Wow.
A really awesome soul. He was really beautiful, yeah. And went quite quickly, you know, unexpectedly too. But he was doing a lot of work for the collective. Maybe he thought he could do more on the other side. Yeah.
You know how to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That's why.
True.
But honestly, my friends, you know, this is the other part of this for me with you, Medina, is you know, you've been doing this, holding circles, you know, for years, and bringing people together, and you have, of course, as well, Mandy. So I mean, and you know, and I have also. So you know, I just feel there's a beautiful divine timing about this here today. And you know, as we know, Medina, all this came together so effortlessly. You know, we had 2 conversations. You said, write something. I said, okay. You liked it, and off we went, you know?
Yes, it's like what Mandy said at the beginning, that when you're in divine alignment, it just goes boom, boom, boom. It just happens really quickly. We were given the guidance to leave our rental all of a sudden. So I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do that? And then I had to work out all the things that I had to do. And it was a bit overwhelming for the first day or 2. But then we stepped into that space of following our divine higher guidance. And like it just went boom, and everything just happened really quickly, and it all flowed. Like we had to get rid of a lot of furniture, and this guy came in and he goes, I'll have pretty much everything in the house. I'll have this. And we got it, you know, and it just all happened really quickly, and in incredible flow that you would never anticipate if you just sat down and thought, how am I going to do this? You know,
Exactly.
So it's happening like that at the minute, isn't it, Mandy? Are you finding that?
Oh, it's so much like that. I've just shifted out to the beach, and it was just 2 days, every 2 days, like looked at the house, applied for, looked at, 2 days later, 2 days later, I was told it was mine, and then a week later I was in. And
Exactly.
it was just boom, boom, boom. But it's when, you know, it's us getting out of our own way, because we're the ones that come in. Our mind starts trumping it in and, you know, trying to work out exactly what we're meant to be doing, when we just know that this is what you're doing, and just allow, you know, I always say to people, you know, if you consider yourself to be in the body of the Great Spirit, you know, and this Great Spirit wants to serve you, just let the Spirit serve you. You know, what we tend to do is feel that we are in service, you know, and we have to put it forward, and we have to work it out, and we have to do all the thing. But if you just let it serve you, it just takes you.
It's incredible, isn't it? It just flows. And if you do the opposite, where you ignore what a higher guidance you've been given, you just get block after block and obstacle after obstacle, and it just gets harder and harder. So it really is so much easier when you just put and it's often the mental body, the mind, that brings the fear in. And if you're in your mind and in that fear space, then you can block it. But it's like going to your heart center consciously and just operating from there and trusting that it's all divinely aligned and just letting go of the fear. And yeah, it is a process, and it's a skill.
It's
Yes.
such an adventure though. Like it's an exciting adventure when, when I really got it and I started really trusting it, which was early in my life. I've always moved with my spirit. Whatever it's directing me to do and be and go is what I do. And I've had some really amazing, incredible things that have happened through that, which we all probably have done. And it just is so exciting. And I think, why would we not want to have all that experience? Because we came to experience it here,
Yes, and you get miracles, so many miracles.
Do.
I had I want to set up an art business because I'm an artist. That's why I've got this background behind, which I hope is
Beautiful.
not
It's
too
so
much.
beautiful. No, it's gorgeous. I love the colors.
Thank you. And
Mm.
so I wanted to be part of this program, and he said, well, look, it usually takes 3 weeks to do the business plan and do the financials, and it's a long process. I had like 6 days to the deadline to do, and I did a 100-page business plan. I did a 6-page financials, and I had it in within 6 days. It just got approved yesterday, and it all happened. It was miracle.
Wow.
And I thought, thank you, Divine, because there's no way I would have done this by myself.
Yeah,
My
so
partner was a
cool.
bit of a help too, because he helped me with the financials, but a shout out to him. But oh my gosh, there's no way I would have done it otherwise.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Mm.
Well,
Wow.
there's a higher power at work, is my joke,
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course there is. Yes. And I mean, it's courage, it's trust, it's humility, and it's gratitude.
Mm.
Appreciating what we have and appreciating what we can understand, and trusting, if we're being guided in one direction, there's a reason for that. And if it's blocked in another way, there's a reason for that too.
Mm.
I mean, things are accelerating, aren't they? Just so incredibly right now.
Yes, and we all have, things that have been challenges and setbacks, and we've all had, things in our past that have been really, really difficult. But it's where you focus your energy and your attention. You can think about those things and they just magnify, and it just becomes heavier. Or you can sort of just let that go and know that everything was for a reason. And I think that's where people can get blocked. They get blocked in letting those sorts of things hold them back, and staying focused on those things, when really it's about just releasing them in love, trusting there's a higher divine plan, reason why that happened. I mean, we've all got those things. I had a baby that passed at birth and things like this. So, you just got to just let it all go and just focus on the present moment and just be in as high frequency as you can in your heart space. And, it's, of course, there's daily challenges, things come up, but that's the overall goal, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
I had a friend and his wife who were simply washed away by the flood in North Carolina. It's been a month, still haven't found them.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and your loss of your child there, God bless you.
Yes.
These things demand our full attention and respect. And but then like you've come roaring back, Medina, and I'm seeing the people in North Carolina. They just did a concert last weekend in Charlotte, and they raised $20 million for the people of North Carolina.
Wow. They are
just
amazing, so
yeah,
resilient. I know a lady from North Carolina, and I asked her about it, and she said, oh, they're so coming together now. The people are all really unifying in love with the one goal of just supporting one another. And there's this incredible unifying sort of force that happens with a disaster like that. And that's what she's focused on. It was really beautiful.
That's exactly it. And it really does. It brings everyone together, and throughout the world, like the globe, not just in those places that it occurs. But I think, if we do focus in that of the harshness of it, of course that's going to flip the lid. We can't, it's too much. Our bodies and our nervous system has gone through so much, and now there's still more, you know. And it's that thing where we have to, somewhere we've got to find that fine line of seeing that silver lining, seeing the beauty that comes out of those horrific things, the learnings we get the awarenesses and the insights that come in when we do go through something in that way. And it's that keeps us, I think, when I look at things and I go into those spaces myself, it's like there's so much goodness in humanity, and what we're just calling for all the time is to share our love. And in situations like that, we just all come out for that. We all come into those places of sharing ourselves in that way, and it's who we are in our trueness. And those give us an opportunity to really show up in that. And I think sometimes that's what keeps a lot of people going, is that they create, because if we think about us creating these things, and it's through vibration, frequency, and alignment. If we look, sometimes I look at this and with some of my clients, they really are reluctant to step out of the cycle that keeps them taking them into those places that they have such big awakenings. And it's like that thing, but it just keeps taking them back because they want to experience again, and have that love and energy poured to them, and the nurture that might come through from going through certain situations. And it's a cycle that I see humanity in, and we are coming out of it, obviously, to the point where we will be just being love. We won't need tragedy to bring that out,
Which is the duality, isn't it? The polarity,
Yes.
duality that is a 3D concept. But when you go into the fifth dimension, you don't have that polarity.
No.
It's just all that oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
I was just listening to Tim Wilde from the UK say the same thing, that we're in the anaretic, the last degree of Pluto in Capricorn for 200 years. This month it ends November 19th, and this is part of the I Am Race of America being a map and a model for the rest of the world. A depository for the energies of the whole planet. And so yeah, we're, to come back full circle, there's no doubt that there's shadows on the path ahead of us, but there's also no doubt that the light is getting brighter. And to my way of thinking, this is the beginning of the great separation, into lower or higher vibrations, whatever we're willing to focus on and believe. Tim Wilde was saying this is the end of 3D this month, and I think that's a very appropriate way to look at it.
Wow, that's
it is.
Yeah.
I can feel that. And I feel like our 26 was a leap. We went through a bit of a quantum leap in that time. And it's different again, We jump, and then it's like adjustment and see where we're up to now. And, what does it feel like now? Who am I in this space? Because there's so many aspects of self that are moving on. And it's been wonderful watching all that going on for myself over the last 4 months.
I think when you don't attach to all the external stuff, particularly, all the sort of fear porn and things that are out there, when you just focus on your own energy, there's this incredible rising in enlightenment and light and joy and happiness and frequency, and you just can feel this. It's just so lovely, and so just sort of block out all the noise, the external noise, and just focus on yourself and how you feel inwardly. And I think most people, when they really tune into that, you can feel that your energy's getting higher and higher, and it's just so beautiful. I'm getting a lot of energy when I say this.
It is absolutely. Me too. When I was talking before, it was like,
yes, exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. We're lighting it up, my friends. Absolutely. How good was it? That's the question my guides ask me, and joy and happiness and love and appreciation and gratitude, creativity are beautiful colors there again, Medina, and music, we all love and do music in one way or another. And, these are the things that lift us out of time and space and back into the transcendent. And you know, we're transformed. I don't know who I sent this to. I saw right before we got on, as I was, you know, zipping around waiting for this chat to happen. There's a video. I'm a Bruce Springsteen fan, and there's a video of 1,000 musicians in Germany playing Born to Run together. And
No.
it's on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. But it was really a jaw dropper. And of course, it's a joyous song, but to see everyone having so much fun together was just, you know, so uplifting and inspiring. We are magical, and we help each other to rise out of the crazy and back to the happy. Great thing.
Yeah, it is a great thing, and it's only going to get better, you know. And I know there's a, you know, huge amount of people out there in fear of what is coming, what is happening, you know. And I, you know, we do what we can to help and assist in that way, but just by walking your talk, by being the light, by being the love, you know, that's what's going to change everything. And when
Yeah.
you're in the presence of those people that have that fear, they feel that love, they feel that nurture and that upliftment.
Yeah.
And it helps in a moment. And it may be, you know, just in that moment that they decide, right, I'm moving myself. I'm going to change direction in some way. I'm going to something might just drop in. But if we go into spaces and drop ourselves into those spaces, we're not doing anything. We're not doing any good in there. We're
I
just
think
becoming
when,
that.
so true. When I think you do what you love, you know, for me at the moment, it's painting. I just love it. I get so much joy. It's so fun. And like going into another like beautiful world. So just finding the thing that you love, that's your joy, and then just doing that, you know, that in itself is going to have such a big impact. It'll ripple out to all the people around you, and then that'll encourage them to do that as well. And you know, just finding what you love, even if you don't know what it is. What did you do when you were a child that you loved? Maybe do that again, you know. Just find
Exactly.
something that lights your fire, you know, really touches your own heart, and that will help propel you forward in that way.
It does. And I was, you know, sitting on my porch communing with my beautiful nature and trees, and you know, we are that, and I become that with them. That's how it feels to me. But in that conversation, the wind had got up, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I said, is that wind hurt? You know, does it hurt you? And they said, no, it gives us a chance to dance. And I just thought, oh my God, that is so beautiful. And that's what I feel when we're in our creative flow, when we're doing something we're really passionate about, we love it, and we're just in that space, like just even communing, walking in the you know, on the beach or whatever it might be. That there is the wind coming through you and dancing. And it allows that movement. You know, I notice myself when I'm not creating, when I'm not creating something, it's like even moving into this new place, you know, I'm able to set it up, and I'm being really creative in the way of doing that, and I love that.
Oh, have
So
fun.
it's that flow and that movement that just shifts things for us, and it just brings in the newness and it's that divine flow thing again, isn't it? Where it just all falls into place and everything just fits. It's beautiful.
Another good tip for that is to get rid of anything in your space that is old energy, and get rid of that, and that allows for that new flow to come in as well. So if you're stuck or you feel like, oh, how do I go forward, just start getting rid of some old things in your house that you don't resonate with anymore. Even pendulum, whether they're old energy or not, you know, use a pendulum or whatever, and just get rid of them, and then you'll make the room energetically for this new energy to come in.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Wow, this is really lovely. And I just, you know, thank you so much. We've had some great comments, and lots of people have chimed in. So thank you so much for all you're doing. And again, we'll put the link up below this. Somebody just asked if it will be, if it's recorded. It
Oh,
isn't recorded, but it is up on my page. Lives stay up there. I can determine whether they get deleted or not. But what I will do is download it and I'll actually put it into a little edited recording and send it to both of you, and we'll put that back up on my page. So it will be
Fantastic.
there.
I'll also pop it on my channel too, Mandy, Arise
Yeah.
Humanity on YouTube. If anyone wants to check it out, lots of good
Gorgeous.
stuff.
Yeah, give me all the links that you've got that we want to put up with them.
Thank you.
will do. I can slap it on Awakened Spirits Network. So
Yeah,
yes, we've all got our thing, and it's great to be sharing it together. Thank you, Mandy, for
beautiful.
this space, and Medina, thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a joy to chat with you both, and I hope someone out there listening got something that's, helpful for them, and, we're all in this together.
Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yes. My prayer is that this is the first of many, because I think it is going to be a bit stormy out there over the next few months and weeks and years and whatnot. So I feel like establish something energetically here, and because again we're trusting and we're following our inner guidance, and this all feels quite familiar and just perfect. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Mm, very welcome. Thank you. But thank you all so much. And yeah, be the love.
Vote for love.
Lots of love.
Absolutely.
Co-creating divine government,
Yes.
November 1st and 2nd. Yeah.
Yes.